when you ask pointed questions about something and they're not trying to be honest about, you go back and revisit it. It makes them uncomfortable because they're not trying to answer that question. So you know that's what that's what that was all about. Um, so I went back and I was pointed about it, and then after I made it clear that I wasn't moving on with the conversation unless he let me know, if you're not, and I went back to, if you're not comfortable, let me know. And so he was like, he didn't want any more questions. So he didn't want any more questions. I don't want any more conversation. There's nothing to talk to you about. I mean, you, I mean, you had an opportunity to start a conversation on your own, and it didn't work. And so, but now thinking about it, again, I talk about social responsibility. Perhaps it was my responsibility to find out more about him in a different way, because it's not all about me. Just because this appears to be a man, he's what, 25 or 29, I don't remember what he told me. That, I don't know what he's been through. This guy may have been in juvenile or whatever for most of his whatever life. And so perhaps, maybe the topic wasn't too mature for him. You know what I'm saying? So I have to keep that in mind, and that me being a 40-year-old woman, I have a social responsibility, regardless of if the person is 25, 29, 35, or even 50. I have a social responsibility. I don't know what these people have been through. So going forward, I know that in the future, he just sent me, this guy's funny. I didn't say anything. So he sent me another message and he was like, yeah, you better not respond. So I'm thinking this might, because I talked to him a little bit in person about this. This is somebody I met on a bus. I had asked him, about his, because again, looking for topics of interest where we can actually have a conversation. I asked him about his experience with the criminal justice system, and he was like, he did whatever, because I don't want to discuss his personal business, but so I asked him about that, and it was unrelated to my experience, which probably most people's experience will be unrelated to mine, and and then he called me lady. Now, but so then I asked him about his experience with, you know, his experience in the intimate realm, and I didn't ask him. I asked him just if he had any just homosexual experiences and straight experiences. And before I asked him that question, though, I did ask him, "Is it okay if I ask you something very personal?" And again, a topic that may not, normally come up, that may be a little risque. And he was like, "Sure," and he didn't say sure in a way that most men would, where they would be like, "Sure," like okay, they're anticipating something erotic. No, he was saying sure, just with innocence, and I'm just like, okay, fine, this guy's cool, or maybe he's just interested in me. But and so I asked him, and he shared with me, what he was comfortable sharing, and so then again, like I said, when it got to the personal realm of kick and whatever, I was like, okay, I'll let him go with the conversation. He sent me a message. I said hello back, and that was it. That was it. Then it was like, how was you? He was asking me, how was my day? Just the same boring stuff. And I was like, okay, this is getting boring. So I'm just like, okay, we need to find a purpose. So I went back to, again, the questions, asking him was it okay to ask the questions, got his approval. Given the warning that they may be a little, I got his approval, asked the questions. He gave me side answers and tried to ask me back. I answered very specifically. And like I said, sometimes people may not have the capacity. So perhaps I was wrong in this situation because um, just because you are a grown man, you appear to be a healthy, attractive male at this age, that perhaps you have not had the same experiences that I've had. So Yeah, so I need to take, I talked about social responsibility as far as employers, but I have a social responsibility too. Whenever you're a person, whenever you're a person that God has given any amount of gift of anything, you have a social responsibility to God. And ooh, that social responsibility is understanding that when you communicate with people, you are dealing with God's children. You and talk speak about me in this situation, you cannot be asking people off the wall questions because again, you need to ask yourself, I'm talking about myself now because I expect this one, you need to think before you speak. Is what you're saying true? What I was saying definitely was true. Is it honest? It definitely was honest. Was it inspiring? No, not really. It had a potential where it could be. Was it necessary? No, not really. Was it kind? No, not really. So I only had 2 out of 5. So I do need, like you said, watch watch who you're talking to. Not just, yeah, and he's right. Watch who you're talking to. I'm talking to God's children. And regardless of your age, whether you're 25, 29, 35, 45, 80, I'm talking to God's children. And I'm talking to a gift that's very precious. And each person that I come in contact with, I need to handle that way. So I haven't wrote any apologies to him, but eventually I will. But right now, I just don't want to be involved in a back and forth with this dude. So after a couple of days, if he's still texting me after messaging me, after a couple of days, I will let him know that I apologize. Because I was wrong because when I the thing about the think THINK, and then also he's a precious gift from God, and that anytime, and I need to watch who I'm talking to because anytime I talk to someone, I am talking to a child of God, something precious that God is putting in my sight, in my presence to be under my care. Regardless, again, if you're 25, 29, 35, 45, 105, it doesn't matter. God put you in my presence to be under my care. And and that's it, period. And I did not use my gift the way it should have been used. So my apologies to God, my apologies to anybody that I came in contact with, and my apologies to this person. Because regardless if you're 25, 29, 35, 45, 105, you're still a child of God and a precious gift. And I did not treat him as I should have. So I'm going to address that. You can clearly see this in the way that he's responding. That, yeah, you know. And, maybe I'm wrong, about being wrong. But I think in this case that I am wrong, most definitely wrong, and I'll address it. After all of this, I got a good start on my quote unquote little project. I will finish that up sometime today, this morning, but I think I'm going to take me a cat nap and go on about my business and finish with the rest of my day. It's so funny. He's like, you better not respond. So, it's funny, too cute. So that shows me I'm dealing with a child of God, regardless of how old he is in physical years. And he probably showed, my messages to his friends or something, and they probably are the reason he's just like, are you the police? No, I'm not the police. I ask questions 'cause I like to learn. And I'm learning now that, sometimes some questions should not be asked because you don't know who you're talking to. This person obviously has a mindset that doesn't match. I mean, not in a negative way, but in a good way. They're innocent. Like, and like I said, I used to be 120% innocent, but now a lot of my innocence is taken away where I have knowledge of these things. You know what I'm saying? So, anyhow, I'm not gonna get into all that. Good morning and good night because I'm going back to sleep because my purpose of being up was use the bathroom, work on my project, but then I happened upon this. So, anyways, good morning and good night. I will chat with y'all later.